ownership at Manchester United is what we definitely are talking about. We're talking about the takeover. Who's the owner of Manchester United right about now as we speak? If you are interested in knowing who's the current owner of Manchester United, all you need to do is simple. Subscribe, ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related right about here at the United chapter with me, your very host, Abu KALS. Anyway, let's talk about Manchester United takeover. We'll remember that there are two people in this transfer. It's not a transfer, it's a transfer anyway. Transfer of ownership of the club with the current owners, whom are the current owners anyway, or they have gone out. With the Glazers really looking into two bids, one bid from Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, and yet another bid is from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It will be remembered that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid is £5 billion. And the Glazers are saying they say they needed. The Glazers say that they needed. Not only did they need £6 billion, but they had quite a lot of demands, But £6 billion is what they say they needed for the football club. But the club really, £6 billion, it's a lot of money. It's quite a lot of money. £5 billion, really, a lot of money, I must say. So, Sir Jim Ratcliffe put in a bid of £5 billion. And despite the fact I put in a bid of £5 billion, he said he will be paying £500 million out of the £1 billion debt. And as if that was not enough, he went on and discussed how possibly he could develop with the transfers. He could put in a bit of money to get a few football players in and stuff like that. But basically, that was it for him. However, the billionaire, the great Qatari banker, and that is none other than he's Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Remembering that Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani is one of those billionaires that have great money, loads and loads of money. He said, actually his bid is 5.5 billion. Before even we go there, the ownership are talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, his bid does not include fully ownership of the club. It's partial ownership of the club, but with hopes that the Glazers will sell all their shares in the near future. However, with Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani, his bid is 5.5 billion, and it's for a full takeover, and telling the Glazers that they can pack and move, they can pack and go. 5.5 billion, and the Glazers are saying they need 6 billion, but 5.5 billion for the Glazers to get, and also 1 billion. And the Glazers saying that they definitely need quite a lot of money. Sheikh Jassim is saying he's also going to put 1 billion into the club's debt, and he'll make the club debt free. And as if that is not enough, definitely he came out and said he's going to work with the environment that surrounds the club Manchester United, develop the surrounding around Manchester United, work hand in hand with the people of Manchester United, and that seemed to me quite a juicy deal, a big deal. So it's gonna be a bit challenging between the two people. One of them saying I need the club fully, and do not forget that the Glazers can consider one of them. If the Glazers change their mind, which they haven't just as yet, the Glazers really wanted, or the Glazers wanted, full ownership, full takeover. They do not want to have anything to do with the club Manchester United again. However, that can change, and the question is, why is it taking so long with already bids in Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad? All of them came through and said, why is it taking long? They need to make life easy. They definitely need to decide who is the winner, who is going to be taking this, and who's gonna be taking the club Manchester United. And I think, in my own opinion, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe has lost the battle. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has lost when it comes to these bids, because his bid is not as nice looking as the other bid from Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. I will remember the Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani's bid is one for a full takeover, and this has hindered, really, the delay by the Glazers has hindered a lot of business at the club Manchester United. Erik ten Hag is not happy about the delay because he's not able to get into the transfers 100%, despite the fact that he's already got Mason Mount already in and ready to start playing for Manchester United. He had his first game before, but start playing in the Premier League. That's what I mean. Despite the fact that he's there, Mason Mount is not one of the big targets that Erik ten Hag really had. He wanted him, but not as much as he wants Victor Osimhen. Manchester United is a squad that definitely needs a big player in there. Manchester United is a team that needs a big striker. There is a number 9 missing. Manchester United needs a number 9. And number 9s that are available, it's big money transfers. We're talking about over 100 million pounds, and for that money to be transferred, the club really needs to be knowing exactly who owns it. Definitely Manchester United, nobody's gonna splash out that big amount of money without knowing what's definitely taking place, unless some football players are really sold and some football players are bought. That's the only thing that can be done. You have to remember that Anthony Elanga, having said that, we can say, like, Anthony Elanga has been linked to a move away. Anthony Elanga could be moving to Everton, and I think that would be quite great for him, for Anthony Elanga, because he will be sure that he's gonna play every game. And if I were Anthony Elanga, I would go to Everton 100%, despite the fact that Everton is a club that had quite a lot of struggles the last season, with it almost going to relegation. And the clubs that went to relegation were Bournemouth, Leicester City, and Southampton. But the club Everton was almost going there. Maybe that's something to worry about. He could end up in a relegation, but I don't think, with the fact that Everton have got a new manager, Sean Dyche, who's a very good one. I definitely think Everton is going to play quite well. And the fact that Anthony Elanga has been linked to the club with a range of something like 16 to 20 million pound. But what can 16 to 20 million pound do for a club like Manchester United? That's quite little money, and that's why the ownership of Manchester United should definitely be sorted, and we can put the blame to one person. We cannot blame Sir Jim Ratcliffe right about now over a club that he's not owning. He doesn't know what's happening. We cannot blame Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad of getting a weak squad because he's not yet overall known as the club owner. And neither can we blame Oh, I think we should blame the Glazers because they are the ones who are delaying the process. If the Glazers can sort out everything on Manchester United ownership, if they say that they are definitely moving out of this, and the current owners of Manchester United are this one and this one, or it's either Sir Jim Ratcliffe or it is Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad, then we will have the person to put the blame to, and we will be watching. I mean, Manchester United needs a big forward. United is a club that definitely needs a top goal scoring football player. Rasmus Højlund has definitely been one of those targets. We've had Harry Kane, and we've also had Victor Osimhen being linked to the club Manchester United. All these are good forwards, but one of them can be good, but big money has to be transferred to the club where he's going to. It's going to be a big money transfer. So ownership is a key factor in all this. And that's why the current manager of Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, is fuming about the current management and ownership at the club Manchester United. And I can understand where he's coming from because he's frustrated. He wants to spend the money, but he's not getting the money. And he wants these players, he likes the players that are in. He thinks he can develop them, but also get a few more football players. So it's going to be hard for Manchester United to sell one of the best football players to get another good football player. I mean, you cannot sell a football player like Bruno Fernandes. That's definitely out 100%, because when you see the football players that could be worth an amount of getting a striker, all of them are very good football players. I mean, we've got Marcus Rashford. You cannot exchange Marcus Rashford for a goal scorer. That's definitely out. You cannot exchange Bruno Fernandes for a goal scorer. And those are the football players that really are worth quite a lot of money. Almost every football player that is in that squad that is worth a lot of money is a very good football player. And seeing how things are running, really, I think Manchester United needs to sort itself out. The Glazers definitely need to finish up with Manchester United business and transfer ownership to yet a new club and a new owner, and preferably that will be Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Anyway, I don't think at this point in time it matters who comes in. As long as a new owner is in, definitely the club can move on from there. The Ineos billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe, him entering this transfer business of the club, really, it would have done quite good for the club. Him getting the club, it would have done quite good for the club, because one thing that is known, he's not just about business with him. It goes beyond business because he is a Manchester United football supporter. However, the Qatari group, Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad, is not a Manchester United supporter, but he could be when he buys the club. There is a possibility that he could be. But also, he's a businessman, so he will be looking at spending money. And also, the fact that he's just about making money also, that definitely means that he's going to get quite a big number of football players and also good and class football players. So things will definitely be valuing over time, and the current owner of Manchester United still is the Glazers. The Glazer family still own Manchester United. There's nothing that has been communicated officially about the ownership of Manchester United. However, having said that, despite the fact that there is nothing that has been done and said, it will be remembered that Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani is leading in this race of the Manchester United ownership, and we hope that everything goes on quite well for Manchester United when it comes to transfer business of the club. Thank you for being part of the United chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your very host Abu KALS, as I tell you thank you and goodbye for now.